Regrouping! Moving numbers between place values. Regrouping! Moving numbers between place values. Regrouping!
Subtraction can be a pretty simple procedure. When trying to find the difference of 589 and 132, you would start in the ones place. The minuend, the number on top, in this case is larger, so I can just simply subtract. 9 minus 2 equals 7. Moving into the tens place, I see 8 tens on top in my minuend and 3 tens on the bottom in my subtrahend. So I'll subtract 3 from 8, giving me a difference of 5 tens. In the hundreds place, 5 hundreds minus 100 is 400, so we put a 4 in the hundreds place to show that. Now we see that the difference of 589 and 132 is 457. Pretty simple. But there are times that subtraction can be more complicated. But it doesn't need to be difficult. We just have to understand regrouping. Look at this problem. 62 minus 18. Like before, I'll begin in the ones place. Uh-oh, I've run into a problem. The number on bottom is larger than the number on top. In this case, if there are 2 ones, I don't see how I can take 8 ones from 2. But I have to keep in mind that I'm taking 18 from 62. And I need to also remember that it's okay to regroup numbers. Let's decompose 62 minus 18. That can be expressed as 60 plus 2 minus 10 plus 8. But I could also think of this problem as being expressed by 50 plus 12 minus 10 plus 8. What I've done is regrouped. I've taken a 10 from one addend of my decomposed number and moved it to the other addend. And 12 minus 8 equals 4. And 50 minus 10 equals 40. When we put our decomposed number back together, we see the difference of 62 and 18 is 44. Let's look at that same process of regrouping in picture form. To represent my 6 in the tens place, I've shown 6 tens rods, and to represent the 2 in the ones place, I've got 2 ones blocks. When we regroup 60 plus 2, we take 1 10 rod and send it back to the ones place. So now I've got 5 tens rods, which is 50, and 12 ones, which is 12 ones, and we've got 50 plus 12 instead of 60 plus 2. Let's take 8 ones away from 50 plus 12. 12 take away 8 is 4, and 50 minus 10 is 40, which can be represented by a 4 in the tens place. Subtraction's standard algorithm allows us to subtract numbers with regrouping quickly. When looking at 62 minus 18, and after having looked in the ones place and seeing that the top number was smaller than the bottom, I could begin regrouping by crossing out the 6, which is really 60, and putting a 5 there, which was really 50, like when we did it in expanded form. we take that 10 that we just took out of the tens place and we put it in the ones place where there are already 2 ones. So now we have 12 ones basically in the ones place. Now that I've regrouped, I'm ready to subtract. 12 minus 8 equals 4. And in the tens place, 5 minus 1 equals 4. Let's now look at regrouping between the hundreds and tens place. We're looking at 345 minus 172. And after having analyzed my minuend and subtrahend, I found that my subtrahend is larger in the tens place. So I need to regroup in the tens place to be able to do this subtraction problem in the standard algorithm. My 4 in the tens place will need more tens. I still start in the ones place, where 5 minus 2 equals 3. Now that I'm at the tens place, I know I need to take 10 tens from the hundreds place to make this work. So I cross out my 3 and I put a 2 above it to represent, instead of having 3 hundreds, I now have 2 hundreds. And I cross out my 4 in the tens place and I write 14 above it, because instead of 4 tens, I have 14 tens. I just added 10 tens that had been in the hundreds place. Now that I've regrouped 3 hundreds and 4 tens into 2 hundreds and 14 tens, I'm ready to continue subtracting. In the tens place, 14 minus 7 equals 7. And in the hundreds place, 2 minus 1 equals 1. We've completed our subtraction of 172 from 345. The difference of those two numbers is 173.
Regrouping! Moving numbers between place values. Regrouping! Moving numbers between place values. Regrouping!